So Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue 46 was freaking crazy. After the big betrayal we got in issue 45, issue 46 continues that storyline of the betrayal we're getting in Necessary Evil and just amps it up to 11 because shit went down in this issue. Like, this issue was freaking crazy. It was a crazy issue. I mean, Jason, Trini, and Zach getting their asses curb stomped by the brand new evil team. I can't remember what they called themselves in the end of last issue, but they got their asses kicked by those three, by Kiya, Vox, and the little alien dude. They got their asses kicked by those guys. Jason got curb stomped by Kiya, just sucker punched and knocked the hell out within that start of that fight, which was really crazy. Like, this issue was just so crazy and weird. Like, it kind of sucks that the previews gave it away, or the Boom previews gave it away what was going to happen, because we kind of knew how it was going to play out, but seeing it executed was very interesting as well, because the way it was executed on those final few pages was pretty crazy. But let's talk about issue 46 right now, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Let's go. We've got a lot to talk about in MMPR issue 46. So the issue opens up with the Rangers doing a training simulator. The MMPR team are on Earth. They're doing a training simulator, and things aren't going the way they plan. Like, they keep getting their asses kicked. The Stone Canyon Trio, they're still learning. They're still adapting. They're learning how to use their Zords in battle. And Tommy's like, good job, team. Have the day off. But Tommy's getting a bit reckless and careless, that you can see with his conversation with Kimberly. Like, he's like Zed's gone, Rita's gone. If we've got Goldar to worry about, then there's nothing really to worry about, because we can take on Goldar with our eyes closed on any days of the week. Like, they're not that threatening, so Goldar's no problem for us. And Kim's like, it's not that, it's the others. They want to prove themselves like we did all those years ago, or when we first started becoming Rangers. And they can't really do that without practice, and if you just letting them do whatever they want, like they want to prove themselves because they probably don't think much of themselves or something like that. That's the conversation she's getting at, but Kim is right on the money. Like, the others in the Stone Canyon Trio, they want to prove themselves, and they really haven't had the chance to prove themselves. They kept making mistakes and the whole Necessary Evil stuff. Things aren't going well for them, so Kim's like, just let them prove themselves like we did all those years ago. They just want to do that. So that's where that conversation ends after the training simulator. Meanwhile, in the middle of nowhere, we've got the bad guys, and they're playing around with Lord Zed's staff. They're basically using it on a bucket, and they're turning into a monster. So they're using the power from Lord Zed's staff to turn into monsters, which we'll see later down the line. The bad guys are slowly learning how to use Lord Zed's staff and adapt it to their will, or bend it to their will, so they can create monsters to fight the Rangers. So it's cool to see the original bad guys on Earth, well, not on Earth, the Moon Palace bad guys doing whatever they want and just turning stuff into monsters, which is really crazy. I did like the little bucket monster they made, where it's got hay coming out for like a tongue, which is, because it's basically a bucket on a broom, and basically the bristle on the broom is its tongue. It's got these demon glowing eyes. It looks really crazy and creepy. It looks really cool and really badass. But yeah, so the bad guys are off doing their own thing. After that, we then cut to Safe Haven, where she, or 12, whatever you want to call him, the Alpha 5 of Safe Haven, finds the Blue Emissary dead. He's dead, he's turned to stone, and he's dead in front of the sunset. It looks kind of weird and symbolic. Like, you just see the emissary with his legs crossed, he's looking down, he's looking very defeated, and his cloak is blowing in the wind. And she, or 12, whatever his name is, like I said earlier, finds him, and he's like, who did this to you? Rangers, I need to contact you. And before he can contact the Omega Rangers, he is killed off, crushed, destroyed, and he'll never be seen again. Well, we do see him at the end of the issue. It's just, it made the impression that, like, she might have been killed by whoever killed him. After that, we then cut to the Omega Rangers on the planet doing Omega Ranger things, helping out the citizens of Safe Haven. And this is where Jason and Trini have this conversation, Jason asking Trini if she's called back Kim about answering the message she got on her phone all those issues ago. And Trini says, no, I haven't responded, because what am I supposed to say? Which I do like a response. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it was one sassy response, and I do like how she was drawn as she's replying to Jason. And Zach says, look, they're either suspicious we're the Omega Rangers and hate us for lying, or they don't really care and they hate us for not coming to help them, which is a good point that Zack brings up, saying either way, they're not good options. But I really do like the foreshadowing on the next page where it then cuts to the juice bar, because Trini has the last line saying, at least we don't have to go home anytime soon. And go home is lettered in bold, which means something might happen if it's in bold. And then after that we've got, like I said, we're at the juice bar, and it's Kimberly and Billy talking, and this is one interesting conversation you see them having, because Kimberly's saying, Tommy thinks that because we defeated all the bad guys, she thinks we can just hang up our helmets and retire. And then Billy says, what would you do if we retired? Do you have any plans after that? And Billy says, I've always wanted to go to college. And Kimberly talks about her gymnastics stuff, which is really cool, because if you know both of those characters, yes, they do retire and stop becoming Rangers after a while. So if you've watched the TV show, you kind of can understand the foreshadowing that's going to happen in the comics or the TV show later down the line. I know the comics and the TV show are two separate universes, but you understand the conversation where it's going, that something big is going to happen to these characters later down the line. Whether they retell it in the comics or not is an interesting conversation they have. And then on the next few pages, this is where shit goes down. This is where shit hits the fan, and this is where the betrayal begins, because oh boy does stuff get crazy. So the Omega Rangers are walking in the woods, and they find the Blue Adversary's cloak on a tree. And they're like, why is he up in the trees? Can't he fly? Why is he Naruto jumping from tree to tree? They don't say it like that, but they just question, how is the Blue Adversary up in a tree? How can he fly? And then after that, Garrison Vox walks in, and he's holding the head of not the Blue Adversary, she who he killed earlier, and he's like, hey, if you surrender now, you won't end up like this. And then after that, the Rangers are ready to fight. Jason's like, Omega Rangers, it's time to morph. And then after that, Kiya appears out of nowhere and just sucker punches Jason right in the head. She doesn't hold back with that punch, because Jason gets knocked right into the ground. He gets knocked out with that one punch, getting sucker punched in the head. He's down on the ground. He makes a crater in the ground with how strong the impact was of him getting in the head. It's freaking crazy, man. So after that, Kiya shows up saying, I did what was necessary. You should surrender, stand down, or you'll end up like your friend, because what you guys doing are creating another dragon. So Trini and Zack morph, and they prepare to fight not the Blue Adversary, Kiya and Vox, and the little green alien dude who shows up later down the line. He's being a little coward hiding in the trees, but he actually does some damage to the Omega Rangers. So Zack and Garrison Vox go toe to toe. I'm lost for words with how crazy this is as I'm reading it. To recap what happens and describe what happens, this is one cool fight, because Zack and Garrison Vox go toe to toe. It's really crazy. Zack gets a good blow and Garrison Vox makes him bleed, but they're pretty evenly matched, but the Omega Rangers can't handle this fight, and they end up getting their asses kicked. I mean, their helmets get shattered, for fuck's sake. I mean, that's how tough this battle is. To see the Rangers' helmets get shattered. So, the Rangers are getting their asses kicked. The blue alien dude, or the green alien dude from the planet Breel, puts him in this giant energy ball that destroys him. It's freaking crazy. But when things are looking bad for the Omega Rangers, you think they're going to get killed. They're saved at the last moment by She or 12, like I said, whatever you want to call them. They're teleported into a ship, and they're like, that was a tough fight, but there's one place we can go, and that's Earth, which we kind of knew what was going to happen due to the previews, which kind of sucks. But Jason's really banged up. He's bleeding from the head. He looks messed up. He's out cold, and the Rangers are panicking. The Omega Rangers are panicking because shit is going down. And Trini's like, I know one place we can go, but they're not going to be happy to see us. So after that battle, Kiya's like, yo, they escaped, but we got work to do, and she goes right into the vault, and she's holding on to the Blue Adversary's cloak, which I wonder if she's going to wear it down the line. I mean, is she going to use it as some sort of symbol that they defeated the Blue Adversary? Is she going to wear it as some sort of sign? I don't know, but she's holding on to it, and it looks like in that final panel when she goes, we've got work to make, or we've got preparations to make, as she goes into that vault, is she going to wear the cloak? Because it looks like she is. Like I said earlier, it could be some sort of symbolism if she does wear the cloak. But they're going into that vault. Who are they going to free? I think Dana's going to be one of them because we saw him on the cover. Who knows? But shit is going down. After that, we then cut to the planet Earth, but before we wrap up this issue, more crazy shit is going down. Goldar stands in front of the school bus, which has got Bulk and Skull, Miss Appleby, Candace. They're all on the bus. It's like basically the Angel Grove kids are on the bus, and they're on the way to a field trip, and Goldar stands in front of the bus, and he shoots it with Lord Zed's staff, and basically the bus turns into a monster, a really crazy looking monster. It's like a tiger with a bunch of eyes, and it's basically got the students of Angel Grove all trapped in there. But you can see that Goldar's been putting the stuff to work, and he's been turning vehicles and stuff into henchmen, which really look really cool. They look like demented transformers. One of them's got hair. I mean, they look freaking crazy, man. But Goldar's doing his own thing as this goes down. So on the final few pages is where the crazy stuff goes on, because Zordon's like, hey, I heard that some of you want to retire now that the evil is gone, Lord Zed and that are gone, and Tommy's like, I can't speak for everyone else, but like, I feel like we're not living up to your expectations if there's no evil around. And Zordon goes on this big speech, and before he can finish his big speech, Whoomph is heard, and the Omega Rangers appear in front of the command center saying, guys, we need help, Jason's in bad shape. And it's really crazy because when the Mighty Morphin team first started talking to the Omega Rangers, they were sort of nervous because they were trying to keep the secret, and they were saying, hey, we're kind of off-world. And now this issue ends with them, the Omega Rangers, in really bad shape, and they look panicked. And that's where the issue ends. The Omega Rangers are in the command center. It's freaking crazy. I mean, it's freaking crazy. So issue 46 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. This was one crazy issue. This is where all the shit goes down and hits the fan, because it's leading up to the epic finale of Necessary Evil. I think we've only got a few more issues to go. I don't know how many more issues to go, but it looks like we're leading up to the finale. I mean, we've got Goldar on Earth doing his own thing. We've got Kiya and her plan to free all the people in that room. The Blue Emissary is dead. The Omega Rangers are appearing before the Mighty Morphin team under weird circumstances. I mean, this issue was freaking crazy with so much action and drama, and I loved it. I freaking loved it. 10 out of 10. I mean, Danielle's art was on point, the lettering was on point. I mean, so much happened in this issue that made it such a 10 out of 10 that, like, Ryan has planned this out carefully, and each step by step is going in a direction I didn't expect it to go in, apart from the not the weekly spoilers, the monthly spoilers we get for each issue coming out in the nearby future. I mean, that's the only spoilers we've been getting. I mean, issue 48 did reveal a big thing happening in February, so we'll see what happens in 2020 with Necessary Evil, because stuff is getting crazy. I mean, stuff keeps getting crazier and crazier, and I kind of wish those future issues or those future previews didn't give away the big plot elements we're getting, especially in 47 that we're seeing later down the line. I won't say it. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But issue 47, I'm excited to see how the turnout, or the, what's the word I'm looking for? The turnout of this event's going down, because stuff is going to go crazy. We're going to see that tension between Tommy and Jason, even though they had that big heart-to-heart next month. Like, this is probably going to shake the foundation of everyone's friendships in Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, like Kimberly and Trini, Tommy and Jason. Like, the original 3, or the original 6, are reuniting, and things aren't going to go well for them. So I'm curious to see how that turns out in the next issue in January 2020. And that's going to be my last Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic review of 2019. It's been a crazy ride, guys. We've had our ups, we've had our downs, and now we're finally at the end of our final comic review of 2019. 2020 is going to be crazy with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I believe we're getting 4 issues next month. We're getting 2 Go-Go's, Mighty Morphin and Ninja Turtles, which is going to be crazy. 2 Go-Go's. I don't know how I'm going to cover those 2 issues, depending on how far they're released between one another. I get the feeling we're going to get 1 issue a week like we did this month, but we'll see what happens. Because Stuff has been pretty crazy with everything going down, but either way, what did you guys think of issue 46 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Tell me in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your opinions. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this review, remember to slap a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you guys around.